Hello and welcome back. Due to popular demand, I'm testing the explosive concoction with higher level gems now and show some gameplay. And the concoction is like level 50, the zone is level 60, and my character is level 90. And apparently the explosive concoction doesn't need accuracy because the explosion seems to always hit. Then chain doesn't work because I think the projectile is destroyed on impact, and fast attack is just for smoothness and not too good in my opinion. And fork doesn't work as well because the projectile gets destroyed. And I go with the ignite route, and with 2 Call of the Brotherhoods we'll convert all of the lightning damage to cold, and it's just like 100 lightning damage on average. And the cold is also just like 230, 150 on average. So maybe that's not the best support right now, and maybe it gets better on later on. A must-have is greater multiple projectiles because apparently the skill shotguns. And conk effect, I don't really notice much of a difference if conk is in or it's out. It's a small difference, but I think it's worth the trade-off. Unless you're covering the full screen with like carcass check and stuff, then maybe go ink AoE. And faster projectiles is kind of helpful because that's the max distance with faster projectile, and that's the max distance without, kinda slow. And ignite proliferation because more clear speed, but it gets kind of hindered with the conk effect, so it's slower. For my single target, I'm not sure yet. This is the tree with fire, ignite stuff, ink AoE, life, some dex because I didn't have the requirements, elemental overload, AoE, life, damage, life, 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 and damage over time. I thought about getting a Thread of Hope in there and getting this node, and then I could grab area of effect and this area of effect with a medium-sized Thread of Hope, but it wasn't too efficient in my opinion. The build is mainly from PoE Dan. That's the Clearspeed. The gem being 10 level under zone. And having no gear basically. Just 2 expensive uniques with the rings. Clearspeed looks kind of okay. And no auras and no golems. The single target is kinda weak. The flask sustain is good in my opinion, but probably falls off in mapping, and if you're not one-shotting each pack. But we can test it too. And for the single target, I thought about going likely with Deadly Ailments and Swift Affliction because they have the biggest multipliers. Other options are Damage and Full Life, but that's more helpful for Slayers. Trinity kind of doesn't work too well in my opinion for me because I scaled the fire, and if you scale more of the cold for example and lightning, then this should be one of the biggest damage buffs. Elite damage with attacks is good if you're just scaling the flat hits. And Immolate, I'm not sure when is the breakpoint for it to be better than the percentage wise. And Point Blank, if you aren't in the ranger area and can get this node, you can get it with a gem, but it's just a 30% more multiplier and 20% ink. And Unbound Ailments also helps with Ignite, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but fast attacks doesn't help too much and it spends your flasks quicker. So it's kind of bad for bosses, but if you're hardcore, maybe it's helpful because then you're stuck less in animation. Now I'm going to test the map. My gear and my resistances aren't too good, so I'm only testing a T5 map and see how it goes. And I'm intentionally not equipping much gear to showcase what it's like on the baseline without investment. I'm not one-shotting each pack anymore. If the packs die quickly, the sustain is kind of okay. On bosses I'll definitely run out of flasks. And right now I'm also running out. Now for the boss with 40, 30 and 30 charges, like 15 attacks, max damage, if you can say that. Boss doesn't feel too good. Let's die. Then test it with more damage scaling once. Doesn't feel so good either. That could kind of work. None of these feel good, in my opinion. The single target is kinda whack. None of these combinations feel really good, but my gem is level 50 in a level 72 zone. So that's probably because of that. About explosive concoctions, I don't feel like Elementalist is one of the best ascendancies. Maybe Ascendant or something from the Ranger area. Scary's better with the damage of attacks, elemental damage mainly. And another idea I had was going with like Essence of Delirium gloves for the 30% more damage over time of socketed gems, if you really want to scale the Ignite. And the build I copied mainly was from PoE then, the Elemental Burst with a Fire Burst character, and it had all of the items are Elder Influence because of the Blasphemous Grasp, but we are lacking at least one of the items in the main hand, so I'm not sure if that's still the best one, because then we likely lose the remove on ailment when you use a flask if all equipped items are Elder items. Or maybe you can even cheese it. If you don't equip an item, then it becomes an Elder item because all of the other ones that are equipped could be Elder. But I don't think it's cheesable like that. And for the lower level gems, I'm not sure if Call of the Brotherhood and Call to Fire conversion are the best route to go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.